still be the poster boy?
I don't really care. Hi, my name is Nicholas. My journey started when I was 10 in Konghua Primary in 16J, sponsored by Chenli Presbyterian Church. And when I went to secondary school, I came to Kuochuan Presbyterian Secondary School, and I entered the 5th company, where I'm still at presently, serving as an officer. If I had to describe my journey in 3 words, it'd be, it's life-changing. And I think the reason why I say it this way is because growing up as a youth, as a teen, I was very rebellious. I was always fighting against authority, had trouble with discipline and obedience, and just wanted to find my own footing and then find my own identity. Why I say it's life-changing is because I think the Boys Brigade has offered a broad range of activities that has helped me to practice what self-control, what discipline, what obedience, what reverence looks like. A lot of my behavior growing up has been, I guess, characterized by irreverence because I just wanted to do what I wanted to do. And I guess practicing things like donning on a uniform, taking ownership of my things, polishing my boots, taking care of my boys, these things help me to grow a larger sense of self. I think the most unforgettable experience that I've had in the 5th company is when we went over to Cambodia for a community service trip. We went twice, one when I was in the end of Sec 1 and the other when I was in the end of Sec 2. The reason why it was unforgettable for me was because it showed me just how different life was here in Singapore and there in Cambodia. Here, we worry about what to eat. There, they worry about when to eat. The reason why I say this is not to flex on what we have here in Singapore, but recognizing just how much we have here and how little of these things we are using for others around us. I think a lot of times we take for granted what we have and we always ask more and we want more. And I think that helped me to see that I could use what I have for those around me more and more. I can be sacrificial in how I choose to spend my time, for example, how I choose to spend my money, how I choose to serve and love those around me. Because, frankly speaking, we don't need so much things to survive. I mean, I've seen that firsthand. And while, yes, life is difficult there, but they are still living, they still have fun within their own villages. They still live life. And it's something that is sobering to think about here in Singapore. There was a particular senior who was 2 years older than me. His name is Kian-Shin. If you're watching this, hi Kian-Shin. What struck me about my relationship with him was he was like an older brother in the Boys Brigade that really looked out for me, had fun with me, and scolded me at times when I needed to be scolding. And I think it's just something really special about that brotherhood that you have with your seniors and with your brothers around you. So that impacted me a lot. And I think when I think back about it, sometimes I do share with my boys, even now in camp. When we yearn to strive for excellence, when we strive for the many different appointments, what are we striving them for? Is it for our own accolades, our own glory, or is it for serving those around us? And I always remember my senior, because he was not the Sergeant Major, he was not the CCA leader, yet he was the one that created a lasting impact on me. And that was because he showed love and care and concern for me as a leader and as a platoon sergeant. And I think that is what I try to remind the boys, that it's not about their appointment that makes them who they are, nor is it about what they have that causes the boys to listen to them, but it's about what they do and how they serve the boys that genuinely creates that connection and genuinely makes something out of their leadership here in Boys Brigade. Now that I've become an officer, have I become a leader that I once looked up to? I think yes and no. The reason why I said yes is because of the senior that I talked about. He showed me that my presence and my time is really valuable, and that's why I try to emulate and that's what I try to bring to the boys, even though it is tough now working and coming out of uni and trying to make that time to spend with the boys. But no, because I think my ideas of leadership has changed over the years. I think I've never really understood what servant leadership really was until I've seen more and more examples of that in the lives of my different officers. I think this idea of servant leadership has been a hallmark of, I think, what we try to do here today, how we come in humility, how we consider others more significant than ourselves, considering their needs above our own. Not that we go in and forego all of our needs just to serve in a very self-destructive way, but in a way that truly cares and honors the other person. And so I think that's what I hope that I bring to the Boys every week. I'm not perfect, and all of us aren't, but it's always something that we need to keep remembering and keep reminding ourselves of how we serve the Boys, and to be with them, to go through things with them. I think the two values that I hope to encourage my boys to grow in is humility and servant leadership. I think these two values are really countercultural to what we experience today, yet these two values are so important to our public witness, to everyone around us. And I think while we don't see that or experience that every day in our work environments or in our school environments, we know deep in our hearts that humility and servant leadership are really valuable things. We would love it when our boss stoops down to our level and helps us go through certain things, to serve us in that area self-sacrificially. And if we love that for ourselves, why shouldn't we do that for others? And I think that creates a very loving and kind and gentle environment for everyone around us that helps us to keep in step with one another. I mean, if we're not humble, there'll be a lot of disputes, there'll be a lot of arguments. If we're not serving others in our leadership, then we'd just be tyrants. And I wouldn't like that for my boys. All the activities that we do here are not possible without the financial funding of all of the donors. And whether you're Christian or not, I think it's undeniable that the Boys Brigade is producing good. And I hope that donors would think about that as they donate financially to support this mission that we're doing here in Singapore.